Today's Spa Skin and Beauty Podcast episode features Jen Padani, a licensed esthetician who has a passion for skin. I'm excited about that, and sun protection, and has created a sun shield product that is so phenomenal that it is named the new sunblock by Shape Magazine. Welcome to the show, Jen, and it's always nice to talk to another esthetician. Wow, Shape Magazine.
I know. I have to say all the credits and everywhere. I was like, wow, like go Jen.
I can tell how hard you worked because it's so hard to do, to get a product out. I'm really excited to talk further into the show about that. But I am a fan of other estheticians, and I just want to start off by learning about your journey with skin and what interested in you becoming a licensed esthetician.
Well, thank you so much for having me, you guys. The journey really began kind of at the start of my career. One of my first jobs was with Children's Hospital in Omaha, Nebraska. And so I've always kind of worked in the medical field, in the medical industry, and I've really liked that patient relationship. And so while I was working at the hospital, I've always also kind of had an entrepreneurial spirit. And so I started looking into kind of options that were similar to working in the medical industry, but would kind of fulfill that passion of mine of having more ownership over my own business, over my own career, and so on. And so that's kind of really where it sparked. That's the interest that came from. I went through school and I really enjoyed, just being able to work with the people. And then once I finished school, I kind of saw like a really big open door of possibilities, not just from like owning my own spa or kind of going down that route, but there's a lot in like skincare development and products and so much other stuff that can be done within the industry. And so that's kind of where it all stemmed from.
That is fascinating to me. I would not even know where to start. So I would love to talk to you further about that because there's so many inventions now that I just think this is the decade of technology. I don't know if you are feeling that,
Definitely.
but we're getting so advanced.
Yeah, there's a lot of growth. There's a lot of innovation in the industry. And that's what's really cool because, it's interesting when I was going through school, the curriculum was very outdated and it wasn't like super relevant, right? To kind of how we work together. And I think that that's kind of true with a lot of like different trade schools. I'm a huge supporter of trade schools and trade education. But from what I've found from the courses that I've taken, the education is a little bit outdated. So I think that it's cool that, to be able to see now kind of the innovation that's coming from it. And there's a lot of new stuff happening.
Yes, they would play some of the videos in class. And I'm like, this is like from 1980. Like, why are we watching? Can they not update this? The schools are making a lot of money off of us. I'll teach it. And, I know exactly what
it was like, well, you know what, this is what needs to be learned in the boards, and this is how it needs to, and it's just kind of like, but once you get out, it's very different. There's a lot of things that I feel like you don't know about. And that's one thing that I'm really passionate about, is being able to kind of share my story and open that door of innovation and open the door of like, just because you learned things one way, it doesn't mean that needs to stick that way.
That's true. I'm just curious. So you said you owned a spa. How long did you own it for?
No, I didn't own a spa, but that was that was like one of my first concepts that I was actually that I was thinking of, that it kind of got the gears turning, was to start a mobile microderm station. That was, many years ago. I never actually did it, but that was kind of one of the first things that I was like, you know what? I think that I could do something that I own my own time, that I own my own flexibility, and that's kind of what like sparked me. So then after school, I'd moved to LA, and coming to LA, it was kind of interesting because there were a lot of different possibilities in LA compared to Nebraska, which is where I'm from. So that's where, I was able to work with a lot of different startups. I worked with a skincare company or with a laser clinic. It was like one of the first laser clinics in LA that specialized in tattoo removal.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And this was really new. This was back in, I don't even know what year it was, in like 2005, I think. So it was when like the technology was like very new and very first coming out. And, then just kind of going through different positions from there, though, and seeing different ways that you can incorporate skincare and things like that.
So what made you lead to your product now, Bluestone Shield?
When I was working in a dermatology clinic, it's a pretty well-known clinic here in LA. We have a lot of high-end clientele coming in and out. And we had one particular patient who I remembered. She was the sweetest person in the world, and she had never taken care of her skin before. She was outside. She worked on film sets and stuff like that. She was I think she was like a cameraman or a sound person.
Okay.
So a lot of outdoor work.
Yeah.
Never had taken care of her skin, and she came in and said, I want to do whatever you guys recommend. I'm going to do it. And so she started to go through different treatments. We'd see her all the time, and the treatments were progressively getting more invasive. Right. So we'd kind of start off light, and then she'd come in for something a little bit more, and then whatever it was for her treatment plan. And one day she had a pretty aggressive treatment. And after the treatment, she looks at me and she says, Jen, how am I supposed to walk down the street like this?
Right.
Because there was downtime after this treatment and she needed to heal for a little bit. I said, that's a good point. Like, you're about to walk out on a very popular street. There's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of people. And yeah, I can understand, you coming in to feel more confident by doing these treatments, and yet you're leaving and you're not feeling as confident. So that's a problem.
And your face is like all red and raw. I remember leaving when I've done one in treatment professional microneedling, and I looked just like, a bloody mess. And I thought, oh my gosh. And I had the same thing. I know exactly what she's talking about. If I wish I had known about your shield then.
But not only that, you don't want to, you're out in the elements for the sunscreen, and you can't put sunscreen. And so you just done this procedure to help, and then you're like back in the sun.
I don't want a smidge of sun on my face when I do these treatments.
Exactly. And post-care is so important. It's so critical in order to achieve results. Like, if you're coming in and you're doing a treatment plan, like, it doesn't just stop in the office. You need to carry on. And, what's like the most, one of the biggest things is like right after your treatment. And then you're going out and you're exposed into the sun. So we needed something that offered that solution. I went into the back, checked the racks. I was looking for a hat. This was, I think the more spas and medical facilities are starting to carry sun protection clothing and different options.
They are.
They are, yeah. But this was definitely before that. And there was nothing back there. And I said, there's not even a hat I can give her. There's nothing.
Oh, wow.
And so that was really what sparked the idea, was that, we need something that offers privacy and sun protection, post-cosmetic procedure, so that you can walk down the street, feel confident, feel covered, and just feel good about yourself.
I'm still in your question, Ashley. I'm sorry. And then we'll jump back. But the reason is because we're talking about the product, and I like to hear the journey of getting that product. Like, how do you find a manufacturer? What challenges did you face developing this? Did you have to get how many prototypes? Like what did it take to get to this? Because I know it was not an easy journey, I'm sure.
No, it takes a lot. It definitely takes a lot. And that kind of goes back to even my career journey is, when I always knew I wanted to own my own business. Okay. Or I had interest in it. So one of my jobs was that I found a startup, and I worked really closely with the owner of this company. They did consumer electronics. And so I was able to learn on a very large scale, how to do global operations, how to find manufacturers, how to go to other parts of the world and hold meetings and meet with people and, find the different components that you need. So that's, one little tidbit. If I could ever offer anyone like a smidgen of advice, it's that,
Yes, we're
when you're
listening.
when you're looking for, different career opportunities, find something that you'd like to learn about, and then, find an opportunity where you can do that. So I wanted to run my own business. I found an opportunity where I could work directly with the owner and learn like every aspect, learn accounting, learn operations, learn product development, learn marketing. You're not I don't think you're necessarily going to get that when you work with like a large corporation all of the time. So I think there's a lot of opportunities out there to kind of learn about that.
I think so
But
too.
yeah, and so then, going back to the product though, it's taken years to kind of develop. There's definitely challenges along the way of you do something one way and then you find out maybe you can do it better another way, and it's just a journey though. It's always a journey, and never ending journey.
How many prototypes do you think you went through?
So many. And so back in 2015 was when I was working at the med spa, and that was kind of the initial like idea for it.
Yeah.
I started getting prototypes made, manufactured, reaching out to different contacts and kind of getting things set up. And then by 2017, I had just had my second son. This is kind of a funny story I wanted to share with you guys. So I just had my second son, and I had taken my box of prototypes and like kind of pushed them away because, I was like busy being a mom.
Oh yeah.
2 little babies at this point. It's wild. And so we had a garage sale to clear things out, right? Because we just had another kid and like we needed to like get rid of some stuff, whatever. So unbeknownst to me, my husband actually took my prototypes and he put them out in the garage sale. And he sold them. He sold my million.
Good for
And
him.
the next day he comes to me because I hadn't done anything with it, in almost coming on 2 years. And he goes,
Okay.
Jen, I put your prototypes out at the yard sale, and he goes, and a woman bought the entire box and she was so excited. And it was the first thing to go. And I was like, all right, that's my sign.
Yeah.
Let's get back into it.
Yeah.
And
thanks to him. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Tony. So that was kind of the first, that was like what, okay, let's get back into it, get back going again. And then it's been a process. It's gone, different manufacturers, different vendors. But the cool thing is we assemble all of the shields here in California. So that gives us a lot of opportunity to have ownership of the product and, inspect different components and kind of really know what our product is and what we're putting out. Rather than,
I saw a reel where y'all showed behind the scenes of the assembly, and I really liked that because it looked as hands-on, like everything was just so particular. And I thought that was really neat that you got to see that process as a consumer.
That's awesome. I love transparency. That's the kind of stuff that I'm always interested in. I always like to see like the nitty-gritty details of like how things are really done.
Yeah. I just filmed me setting up this podcast. I'm sure that video is going to look hysterical, like tripping over wires and making this light here. And the internet wasn't, we won't tell you. Well, I guess we will. Internet we literally got the internet working about 3 minutes before the show. We're like sweating, like we're going to make this work. We said our little prayer. We're like, come on, let's pull this through. And then look, here it is. Like nothing's happened.
That's the fun side of it. That's the truth of it, So I like that kind of stuff.
It really is. Okay. So as an esthetician, I really curious. So I would love for you to walk us through like your morning skincare routine, your evening skincare routine. What are some of your favorite skincare products and brands, all that good stuff?
I try to keep it as simple as possible, to be honest with you. I try to keep it as simple as possible. And also, I'm such a big believer that the outside is a direct reflection of the inside. So I think that like when I'm feeling like my skin is dull, when I'm feeling like not great, the best thing that I do is like drink water, do a little detox, and kind of like get myself back into it. Like get out, go for a walk, get myself in feeling good first. And then, when it comes to skincare though, like moisturizer is huge for me. I always have to moisturize. It's like super dry out here. So I do like a good cleanser, a good moisturizer, a serum, and then kind of like a retinol every now and then to refresh. That's basically, kind of the extent of it though. I'm trying to move away. I think there's like a new movement, which I love and appreciate, is like moving away from a lot of makeup, or maybe it's just me getting older, that when I was younger, I guess.
Jen, it's us getting older. I don't know your age, but I'm in my 40s, mid to late 40s, and Ashley's in her late 40s. And
all right, I got that, Dig.
And 38.
You're youngin', and you just start to feel like I don't want this heavy stuff on my face anymore. Right. I just want to like have my vitamin C and my moisturizing hydrating serum, and maybe I'm a go to like tinted moisturizer. That's what I like, a tinted moisturizer. And then as you get older, the more makeup you have, it actually makes you look older because it settles in those fine lines. So you actually just want something really light and breathable.
Yeah, I definitely am feeling that these days.
And how old are your kids now?
So my oldest is 8.
Okay.
6 and 2.
Oh, you added a third. So you added a third one in there.
That was hilarious. It's like, yeah.
I did.
We're outnumbered.
How old are you?
Well, mine's 6 months. Well, actually, he just turned 7 months yesterday. So when I could feel like your pain on starting the business, doing all that when you just had the baby, because you're in baby land. There's just like, it's so hard unless you go through it yourself. You don't really understand it. Right. And then, So,
yeah.
And Ashley, your kids are.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. I always have to think. I'm like, I forgot. They're 9 and 11. Yeah.
So I think 9 and 11 are like good ages. I'm feeling like my 8-year-old, he's helpful now and stuff.
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. I was like, oh my gosh, you can take your own shower. This is amazing. Like just the little stuff.
They could put on their own lotion.
Yeah. Well, they can, but will they? Last night, I was literally like, my daughter's got keratosis pilaris, and I was like, Penelope, like literally as she's going upstairs, I was like, put on your KP. Yes, mommy. And then I come back down. I'm like, did you put on your KP? No, I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm like,
this is going to be another rough day.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's that.
So, Jen, I'm just curious, why is your product called Bluestone Sunshields?
Oh, I like being able to share that. So Bluestone is actually the stone that Stonehenge is made of.
Oh, wow.
And that's the type of stone. And so when I was on a trip to Stonehenge, it's kind of when a lot of like personal growth happened. And it was really kind of like a spiritual, special place where like a lot of stuff happened. And so walking away from the trip, it was something special. It was something that we held close to us. My middle son's name is Bluestone. And and then when I started like thinking of a company name, I liked the earthiness of it. I liked I just liked it. So I said, okay, Bluestone it is. And then the logo is actually based off of the Stonehenge sun calendar.
Okay.
So if you look at the Stonehenge sun calendar, like you can kind of see the resemblance, but then it also kind of has like dual meaning because it looks like a sun being blocked out. So like sun shield, it kind of all makes sense. It all just worked together.
It was meant to be.
That is really neat.
Meant to be.
Flowed naturally.
That. Wow, how special.
That is really
special.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's I love hearing how it came about, because when Ashley and I we have a business called Lepre Beauty, which is an online skincare membership, and it took, it finally came together, and everything has such a rich meaning behind it for ours as well. So I remember us being at that little Chinese restaurant. We had a paper napkin out. I should have kept that napkin.
You should have.
And we were writing down the names that came up for Lepre Beauty. So
yeah,
that's
when it came up, then you guys were just like, that's it. Let's go with it.
Yep.
That's the one.
That's the one.
And ever since, Lindsay, whenever we put stuff out, she's like, stay on brand, Ashley. And I'm like, no.
Oh, Ashley goes off the,
Oh, yeah.
and I have to get back. Okay.
It's
Okay, so
hard.
anyways,
It's hard to do that.
anyways, moving on. I wanted to say that, so how we found, I want to tell our audience how we found Bluestone Sunshields and Jen is because when Lindsay owned her spa, if you're new to listening to us, you know, I used to work along beside her. And most of the clients, like Jen had mentioned before, that came in, it was because of sun damage.
Mm-hmm.
And so Lindsay and I are big believers in, you know, good quality sunscreen, sun protective clothing and everything. And so I spotted the Jen's sun shields and I showed him. Lindsay was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So I delved deeper into it. And so I'm going to read y'all out. Then I was like, oh my word. So she's got the Bluestone Sunshields has been in USA Today, Shape Magazine, Women's Health magazines. Your products won the 2023 Well and Good SPF Innovations Award, the 2023 Beauty Innovations Beauty Tool of the Year Award, and this was so cool, in the Vogue Holiday Gift Guide. And you were also in our gift guide. So
Yes.
Super awesome. So, and this is where I got to tell you, I get so excited about this. I can't believe this is so neat. So I remember I was watching The Real Housewives of Dallas, and I remember this so completely because Brandy, she's a cast member on The Real Housewives of Dallas, and I remember the episode where she was wearing your sun shields, the visor things, and then on the episode, and I remember specifically thinking, that is so cool. Wow. Only like people on TV get something like that. I wish I had one. And here we are a few years later, and I'm talking about the person who created it. Like, that is so stinking neat.
Full circle.
I mean, that is so neat. So I did want to ask you a question. Did you get to go on the set of The Real Housewives?
No, unfortunately I didn't.
Damn.
But I love that you guys are into Bravo too. I'm definitely Bravo is my Super Bowl.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Anytime that we get to work with any of the Bravo celebrities or I see my shields on any of other people, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I have made it.
I mean, I can't even imagine sitting in your house and you're on Bravo and Brandy is wearing your product. I would be like this. I've made it. Mm-hmm. It's arrived.
My husband and kids were not as impressed as I was, but it was really cool. Like that whole time was really interesting.
Right.
Because it was in 2020 when COVID was going on. And we were sitting at home kind of watching the news, and they're talking about people trying to get a hold of PPE and frontline providers trying to get a hold of PPE, and that they couldn't find face shields and they couldn't find masks and things were being seized from the borders and everything like that. And so I said, you know what, like, we got to do something. What can we do? Like, how can we help? What can we do? And so I already had manufacturing, importing different things in place. I already had shields and products and access to a lot of things already. And so the plan was pivot from making UV protection shields. We're going to take out the UV protection, which helps decrease the cost a little bit in it, and bring in as much as we can and just send them out and donate them. Send them out. And we didn't have, I mean, if you saw those clear shields, like they had the big gold gears on the side and stuff like that. So we were using things that we had. It wasn't like we're going to create this big fancy shield. This is what we already had. And so we were just sending them out. And so at that time too, then we started to get like thousands of requests. It was really crazy from doctors all over the country, nurses all over the country, family members of frontline providers saying, like, I heard you're giving out shields. I heard they're high quality and that you've done the droplet testing and everything like that. Can we please get some? And so we were just sending them out as much as we could. And then things kind of started to like take a little bit of a turn into COVID was settling down. The entertainment industry was like trying to open back up a little bit.
Yeah.
And so we started to see these shields in like an interesting place. Like there's this really cool picture from backstage at Christian Siriano's fashion show with one of the models in this gorgeous red dress, and like the glam team, like one of the guys is like standing there in this Bluestone Sunshield or the face shield. And it's just very iconic for the time,
Oh, of
especially.
course.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Some chills.
Yeah.
No lie.
They make a really cool like fashion accessory statement.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think so.
I do too.
There's a whole fashion side of it too. Like at that time we had launched in store at Bloomingdale's, so we got to go, down to like Bloomingdale's here in Century City and see they had styled all of the mannequins like with some of our clear shields and some of our sun shields, and I was like, this is just very different.
That's very nice.
But then I got a call from the producers of Real Housewives of Dallas, and they said, look, we're trying to figure out how to shoot. And so we have like this list of guidelines, and, we had also done like all of the droplet testing for these shields because we wanted to make sure that they offered the correct protection for, they met the standards and everything like that. They said, we know you do the testing and yada, yada. So can we get some, and we'll see what we can do. And then I said, sure, I didn't know if anything was going to come of it. But then before you know it, I see on TV, they're like dancing around a stripper pole in the shields. And yeah, Brandy's taking a shot and set it on. I'm like, well, that's a great opportunity to showcase the visibility of this if she's trying to take a shot with it on,
I remember that because she did the shot. She goes, damn it, in her sweet little voice.
Exactly.
Oh, I remember that clip because I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That is so neat. Well, I have to say, I can see not only for the, the protection during the COVID times, but bringing it back now to what is available now. One of the things that I really, really appreciated about these sun shields and why I like to wear them every day when I'm out walking, also to the soccer practices, is because not only do they provide protection for my entire face, but they are so comfortable. They are lightweight and they are comfortable. And I also like how they
lift up like this because I walk with my son and I need to go up and down a lot.
So I appreciate the thought process that went into it, that it's not just cool looking and it protects your face, but that I find myself reaching for that visor because of the comfort factor. So
kind of like a breathable mesh here. And then I can wear my bun up here so my hair can breathe. It's the whole thing.
It's
sorry.
So those are my favorite ways to wear the visors. What are your favorite ways to wear the visors?
Well, definitely after any cosmetic procedure. We talked about like earlier after the microneedling, especially because if you've ever had microneedling, you walk down the street and you have those little holes in your skin and you can just feel the air coming in, and it's like, so after anything like that, it's wonderful. But also road trips. That's when you will definitely find me in a shield, because I'm always the passenger. The sun is always coming right in from the side. And this is something that really helps. And that, there's nothing else that's going to kind of get those areas, right? Like your jawline, and kind of the side of your face. So that's my probably biggest one.
I didn't think about the road trip. That is so
either.
smart.
I didn't either.
So
okay, so we need these and driving gloves and we'll be set.
That's right.
We will be set.
Yes.
Yep.
So
the scarf. Don't forget your neck. That's like a big thing too. I'll have my Bluestone sun scarf and kind of tie it around, but like get the neck too, because that's something that I've really been working on protecting lately.
I didn't know I didn't know you had a scarf. Y'all have a scarf?
We do. Yeah. So the Bluestone sun scarf, this is kind of like, we like to build on innovation. We like to see what we to a product and see, is there something else that can help assist it or make things better or whatever. And, when you're getting like any treatment done on your décolleté, your shoulders, your neck, what can you use to protect that? So that's what sparked the idea for the sun scarf, was having some UPF fabric that's easily wearable. It's cool. You can throw it anywhere. You can tie it around your head. You can tie it around your shoulders. You can tie it wherever you need that sun protection.
I really like that.
And then the other product that I want you to explain, which I thought was, you were talking about technology at the beginning, was your Smart Shield. So can you tell our audience all about your Smart Shield invention, which I thought was really neat?
This is so cool.
The new mirror,
Yes.
So this is the SunSmart UV mirror. It's really, really cool, really exciting. Basically what this does is it puts out a low grade UVB light, and then the technology inside is able to detect where that is being blocked. So it works when you put on sunscreen, it's going to show up as black in the camera. You can put on sunglasses, any UPF fabric. So your sun shield, anything like that is going to show up darker on the camera. And that way you can tell if you have any areas that you've missed or when you need to reapply, or anything like that.
That is so creative.
I have to say, I did it.
Inventive.
Mine's at home. And so I did it myself at home, and I did, because in the afternoons I am out in the sun for an extended period of time because I've got to pick up my kids and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go into all of it, but so I tested out and I did the sunscreen, and it was so easy to use. I mean, it was really easy. And then I was like, oh, I got all my areas. And I can also see me wanting to take this to the pool, because when you're reapplying into the beach, that you're like, okay, I didn't miss that spot, and on vacation.
It's not electronic,
right?
It's easy to just take anywhere.
Yeah. And it can also dub as a phone charger. So you can use it as a backup power source, and then you can plug it into your cell phone too, and it'll charge your phone if you need. And also, kind of talking about, like, I know that when I use it, my biggest thing is I'll find areas maybe like around the nose or whatever if I missed, but my lips is a big one that I don't really think to apply. And so generally when I'm using this, I'm like, oh yeah, grab my SPF chapstick too and throw that on.
That's, man, so many good tips that, like, I think I'm like this. I know it all, but no, I don't. That was a good one.
Do you just think of these? It just comes to you, these ideas, or they just come to you while you're in the shower, you're walking with your sun shield, or is just things that you wish that you like, oh, I need this in my life? Or do you hear from your clients and they ask you, please invent this?
It's all of it. Yeah. It comes from consumers reaching out. It comes out for, people reaching out saying, hey, I'd love to see this. It comes from manufacturers that I work with, and they're like, hey, if I have an idea and I say, what do you guys think of this? I can work with certain people and they can help develop it, bring it to fruition. It comes from friends and family members. A lot of people, have ideas and they don't always act on it. So they're, I think sometimes a lot of people will come to me and say, hey, could we do this? And then we do it, and they're really excited because they get to be involved in the process too.
We'll start sending our list. Get ready, because an esthetician always has like, please, I need this and this and this.
Yeah, totally.
We wanted to.
That's what it is. It's just like going through things, like thinking, oh, you know what, this would be helpful, like the sun scarf, or like, different little things here and there. It's like, oh, this would be helpful if I had it. And then being able to create it and have it, and then for other people to enjoy it too, is really cool.
We were at the beach, I think this was 3 years ago, and we were just like, gosh, our bathing suits are so ugly. We want a really elevated, classic, pretty. Why do all the UV protective like bathing suits look like you're going surfing? Why can't they
be cute?
Why can't they just be simple
and not like
elevated
geometric patterns everywhere?
That's what I'm saying.
Or polka dots.
Right.
I'm like, I don't want a polka dot, and I don't want to look.
I want like a cute, tuck it look.
I'm like, algebra and geometry all over the place. Like,
so that's my personal request.
Yeah, I like that request. Do you have any more requests before we end the show, Lindsay?
I'll think about it. That's my number one.
And if y'all have any suggestions for Jen, please let us know. We will be happy to pass them along. Well, Jen, we want to say thank you so much for being on the show today. We learned so much about the visors and the new sun protective technology. I hope that this has inspired all of you out there to continue to protect your skin, and know that there is something that can help you if you get, a peel, microderming, something out there so that you can, continue to do your, help me out, Lindsay.
I have a can I say something? This is a good time for me to interject. I have one more question for Jen. Jen, do you have any other products on the horizon that y'all are thinking of in the works, or
is it top secret?
I knew it. Is it top secret, or can there be hints?
No, yeah, we've got like a whole lot of stuff coming out for 2024. We've got
Really?
a lot of yeah, we do. Just a whole different other category and lots of exciting things. So we're always growing and expanding as much as we can.
Are we allowed to ask what category? No, not yet.
Jen's like,
it has to do with sun protection.
Oh, okay. I was like, we're talking what category?
Maybe wouldn't it be cool if it were bathing suit?
No, it's I don't know. No, it's not a bathing suit, but we do have some different categories coming out, some different things, some exciting things.
Okay.
But my goal is just to continue with innovation. I like to bring things to the category that we haven't seen before, and just new things and pushing everybody forward.
Well, I just want to say thank you, and I'm very impressed. And I just want to say, I don't know if I can say this, but I'm so proud of you because I know that it just took so much, and you had your family too, and you have to push through all the challenges, and you just want to we know how it is, you just forget it and throw in the towel, like I'm done. Yeah. Ashley has said many texts out.
I said 2 times. I go,
I literally get a text that says, I quit, all caps. And I just throw my phone down, whatever.
Like this. I'm like, so did you do work yesterday?
Yes. It's just, that's just the road you take working for yourself. But anyway, I just want to say thank you. And just very impressed that you saw it through. And then now we can enjoy.
Yes.
And then also, just think about how many people that you have saved from skin cancer. Ooh. And things, and developing other things like hyperpigmentation and things on their face. And wow, you've made such a difference in the world of so many people. So just wanted to say
thank you. That touches me right here. That's means the world. I don't even have words for that. That's what it truly is about. Yeah. And it does all have a deeper meaning, and it does all have a deeper reason. And so I greatly appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for being on the show, and everybody can find,
Yes, I will put this also in all the show descriptions and the link descriptions, but you can find the products at bluestonesunshields.com, and she's also at TikTok, and it's at Bluestone Sunshields.
And they're really fun reels, and I love your social media, so everybody check that out.
My favorite one, to give you all a peek, and I'm not going to give it to you because I'm going to make you go there, was when Jen opened a package, and there was a special something in there in a return package, and I literally was like this.
What was it?
No, I'm not telling. I'll make you go to her TikTok because it was a good surprise. And when I mean good, I mean not good.
I don't even know either, because I literally was like, what
in the world? Okay. All right. How far?
It was not staged. It was completely real.
You can tell by your reaction. It was not.
In these times, it's like when something like that happens, what's the first thing that you do? You got to grab your phone and record it. You got to share this with the world.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
I'm headed right after this.
You're going to show me. Until next time.
Until next time.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to hit stop and then just stay on the line. And then it'll go.